Oaks bands. We had 2 past mayors of River Oaks, a current mayor of River Oaks, a mayor of Fort Worth, radio station, Hank FM Ranch Radio, so we could kind of cheat and say 2 radio stations, but that'd be a little lot. A lot of people had called to ask me who was Best of Show. Best of Show was actually a Hugger orange Camaro with white stripes. And by coincidence, one of the other awards was a '67 Camaro that was white with Hugger orange stripes. And that was the Police Choice Award, and that thing was so fast that he left before we could give it out to him, so. John Claridge. And I want to let people realize that, I mean, I know a lot about cars. I don't know a lot about racing. I got a lot of friends that are into racing. And for those of you that saw his car, he had a gorgeous-looking trophy sitting on the engine. That is a Wally Award, I believe, is what they call it, from Wally Parks, NHRA. Well, that much I knew. That's pretty good, isn't it?
I got several of them. But
and
that's the one with my name on it.
And that's my point, is I thought you had 3, if I'm not mistaken. That's a big national award, and there were people that walked by and stopped it, read it because they've heard of it, but there's a lot of people in North Texas that have never seen one, including myself. So congratulations. I appreciate the fact that the police decided yours was the one to give an award to.
Probably like me sitting in my trans brake for
He didn't understand. He said, I don't know how to judge cars. And I said, do what you want. Just pick the one that you think is favorite, or you might look at the one that's more apt to be pulled over. We saw it going down the railroad boulevard. His ears perked up, and I think he had you in mind.
Thank you.
The help from everybody, the list is longer than I can read, but I need to touch on just a few. City of River Oaks, Marvin and Jeremy helped in ways I can't even begin, really trying to make everything go smooth. This could be River Oaks Police, Chuck and Eric, both made that cruise go so smooth. And I want to share with you that I had 2 different people that I've known for 30 plus years in the car world. We used to do this kind of thing, the little parade deal, fairly often, and the club I was involved with was kind of known for that. Had 2 different people this year that came up and said, how did you pull that off? Well, no career artists. We got people we can deal with here. Thank you, Chuck. I appreciate you and Eric both very much. Fire department was there as well. They took up the rear end so that if they got a call, they could cut out, so they were still working even though they were honking, waving, and sounding the siren. Castleberry ISD had all of their people. Lenny Lasher got everybody pulled up, and their police force was just incredible. I will talk to them, but anybody you talk to, share with, that I'm very, very pleased with everything they did for us. Camp Carter, Ricky and Robley have been working with me for months now preparing for this. Both of them ended up with strep throat, so they were not there. So we were all of a sudden, their duties were handed down to people that had no clue what they were doing, and they did a great job picking up the ball and moving on. And my wife Tanya, Mark Nobles that works in my office, Roy Shields, they did all kinds of things getting ready for this. And then the big surprise there was Brent Forrester came to help at the last minute. They kind of ended up getting out of his way. He took over the registration and did a great job. So EDC helped us out with that, and I would like to get some input. I know the input I got was that the Hank FM, or for those of you who don't know, they kicked in and helped pay for Hank FM Ranch Radio to have the kids on. So they were out there for about 3 hours, and I was too busy to really watch it. I saw little bits and pieces, but it looked like they were really a bunch of cheerleaders out there. And Chuck, I wish you'd share with them what you told me, but anyway, I think there was lots of positive messages came from them, and I just thank all of you very much.
Great, thank you.
It's the same thing again this year that was last year. A bunch of people I went to school with, well, I didn't know this was like this down here.
Yeah, nobody knows what Camp Carter has to offer.
Yeah, we just haven't done that.
We're working to try to help get that word out as well. So,
I think the CHS reunion out there is what everybody.
That's what it
over
was.
there, but
Last 2
a
years.
lot of people that, I stood by where the music was being played and said that, they hadn't seen their friends in years and they were all hanging out together and having a good time.
And did y'all know Ron Calvert?
Yeah.
The Gulf station that was on the corner, so that, he had a beautiful truck out there that was the old shop truck that hung out there. And he's had it refurbished, but that was the first band that played was, Slant Six, and that was 3 Castleberry graduates and a current resident of River Oaks, and I think they just did phenomenal.
Very good. Thanks again to everybody who pitched in on that.
It was a good time. Everybody there was happy.
The weather was really nice.
Y'all got some dogs adopted too.
We did.
Yeah, a lot, right?
I think we ended up raising right around $2,400 in donations or raffle tickets, and we had 6 dogs for adoption, and we adopted 4 of them.
Wow, that's awesome.
Better than the alternative.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, we're gonna move now to item number 6, which is our consent agenda. All items under this section are recommended for approval for the consent agenda. These items are of routine nature and require only brief deliberation by council. Council reserves the right to remove any item on the consent agenda for further deliberation. Those items are A, approved minutes of April 11th regular council meeting, B, approved bills payable for period ending April 25th, 2023, C, approved second quarter fiscal year 23 Crime Control and Prevention District financial report, D, approved second quarter fiscal year 2023 Stormwater Fund financial report, and E, approved second quarter fiscal year 2023 investment report. Is there any items that council would like to pull from the consent agenda? Or a motion on the consent agenda itself?
Approval, item A through E, consent agenda.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve consent agenda items A through E. Is there any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
None opposed, motion carries. We move now to item number 8, which is MedStar Mobile Healthcare Annual Update and presentation by CEO Ken Simpson.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. How are y'all?
Good.
Good. We're used to seeing your compatriot here.
Matt?
Yep.
Yes. You guys got stuck with me this
No,
evening, I
we're-
apologize.
We're pleased. We're pleased.
Good deal. Did you guys get a copy of the?
Mhm.
Excellent. All right. So, as you're aware, we normally take this time to kind of talk about what we've done over the last week or last year. And this year we have something a little bit different. Since COVID, we've had a few different experiences with what's going on, and so I just kind of wanted to walk you through the presentation. It's not the end of the world. The first picture is a little bit scary, which is courtesy of Matt, actually, but it is serious. It's the world of EMS is changing a little bit throughout the country and even internationally. From the London EMS service, there are a lot of articles about the challenges they've had. Staffing and responding to calls is in an appropriate time frame, and the amount of abuse that goes on in the 911 system and being able to find people and things like that. We've really kind of run into a perfect storm driven by supply chain shortages, workforce challenges, and an increasing call volume through COVID, and we've just done a really good job teaching people to call 911, so they've learned to call for pretty well everything. There on one of the next pages, you've got an Excel sheet that just kind of shows you we track news articles that come through that talk about some of the EMS challenges throughout the country. And there are 762 of those, excuse me, 762 of those local and national news articles since January 2021. 61% of them are really focused on the EMS staffing crisis that they've been experiencing. We subscribe to or participate in several national organizations in AEMT, which includes fire-based EMS, third service, public utility model, and private EMS. And the advantage of those is you kind of get a cross-section of what the industry looks like, things like that. So on that slide, it kind of shows what the turnover rates are in the industry, which is MedStar ends up being a little bit lower than